Hey y'all, it's Cece Michelle. Welcome back to my channel. So today I am going to be doing a makeup tutorial. I'm going to be showing you guys how to get a flawless base with acne prone skin. I know it's a little harder to make our makeup look even and smooth, but I'm going to walk you guys through all the steps that I use in my base routine. We're going to get to the bottom of what gets the girlies asking, girl, what's the skincare routine? Y'all don't need to be asking me what's the skincare routine. Y'all need to be asking for the base routine, because this skincare routine, I promise you don't want it. You don't want it. Okay, but I do believe this base routine is going to come in handy for someone who is struggling with acne, just wants their skin and their makeup to just look good so they can feel good. So I'm going to zoom you guys in and get straight into the tutorial. So I made sure my skin was prepped and ready for makeup, so I washed my face, put on my moisturizer, and put on my sunscreen. As you guys can see, this is the state of my skin. This is considered a good skin day for me. All of these like dark marks and everything were active, painful pimples like in the beginning of the week, like kind of towards last week. So I'm happy with what I got going on right now. But yeah, let's get started. I'm gonna start out with my Milk Hydro Grip Primer. Just take about 2 pumps and work it into the skin. One thing I noticed to help my makeup look more flawless, this is for any kind of skin, it can be acne prone or not, is to kind of let your skincare products sit and settle into your skin before going straight in with makeup. So maybe do your skincare first, then make your bed, or maybe then eat breakfast and then do your makeup. You know, add a little time gap in between skincare and makeup. I just always get better results that way. Now I'm gonna go in and spot conceal with Rem Beauty's concealer. This is the color Tan 4G. I'm just gonna go in with one of these flat concealer brushes. I'm placing the concealer with this brush, and then I'm going to blend it out with a different brush. I never really was one to color correct. I don't know why. I just literally forget about it every single time. And so I just got into the habit of not doing it. I know green combats red, I think, so I know, you know, it might be helpful to use a green concealer and then try spot concealing, but that's just not something that I do. I'm not gonna lie. And for me personally, I just don't think it's that necessary. So now that we have spot concealed, I'm gonna go in with this brush. This is a Morphe V105 brush, but I'm just gonna take this and literally just tap in that concealer. I know it's a little time consuming to tap instead of like rub, but I think rubbing kind of takes away some of the pigment, you know? With tapping, you're kind of like pressing the color into the skin a little, you know? And one thing to remember when you are doing your makeup and you know, struggle with acne or texture, is just to remember that you can't blend out texture. Like, it's gonna be there. Like, I don't care how much concealer you put on, the texture of the pimple is still gonna be there, unfortunately. I think that's something that we tend to forget. I know I forget sometimes too. I'm like, this could look a lot smoother, but I'm like, there's nothing I can do about the texture. I can even out the color and create illusions that everything looks smooth, but when we get close, you know, get to the nitty gritty and we see each other in person, you know, that texture is still gonna be there, and that's okay. It's just something to keep in mind, you know, we all have texture. But look how much just spot concealing has helped this side of my face. Those dark marks are definitely gone as far as we're concerned. That's why I love this Rem Beauty concealer. She has some pigment to her, and I highly recommend getting this concealer in the shade of your actual skin tone. And is anyone else a late bloomer when it comes to acne? Like, y'all, I did not start getting acne until I got to college. I feel like most people get acne like in middle school or like high school. My skin was like so smooth and clear in middle school, high school. When I got to college, like my sophomore year of college, that's when I started getting breakouts. It was just like so strange. I'm like, aren't I a little too old for this? But I guess you're never too old to get breakouts. So it definitely was a learning curve having to, you know, adjust my skincare, do a little bit more makeup, you know, but we're still living, we're still here. And now that we're done spot concealing, let's go in with our foundation. I'm gonna be using this Lancome foundation, the Tint Idol Ultra Wear. I know I'm not saying that right, but this is the Lancome foundation that I'm using. This is the color 435 Bis W. I don't know if that full thing is supposed to be included in there, but 435, okay? And I'm only gonna do 1 pump. I always start my foundation towards like the bottom of my face and just work my way up. A few things to keep in mind when you're doing your foundation is to not pile on the foundation. Y'all will see I'm only using one pump. You know, I think it's very normal to try to pack on foundation to mask as much of the acne as possible, but like I said, a lot of times subconsciously we're trying to hide that texture, and that texture is not going anywhere. So that's why we spot concealed underneath, because now we only need one layer of foundation. This is gonna help us not look like a cakey crunch bar, okay? Putting on layers and layers and layers of foundation when you don't need that much. Like, the skin is gonna look so even after this step. Now, I put very minimal foundation on my forehead just because the more foundation you put on your forehead, the cakier you're gonna look. I don't know why, I don't make the rules, that's just how it always ends up. And your forehead's typically a lot darker than the rest of your face, so the foundation color might be a perfect match for your face, but now once you get to the forehead, it's looking a little ghosty. If you tend to get more breakouts on your forehead, or maybe your forehead's your problem area, maybe try getting a foundation that specifically matches your forehead color. You know, even for the spot concealer, you might need a little bit of a darker concealer to spot conceal your forehead as well. But if that's your problem area, you might just have to go in with a few different shades. Take your time blending everything out, and as you can see, I'm also using tapping motions for the foundation. We don't need it to look like we have this thick layer of makeup on, so tapping it in, you know, will just help it look more like skin. Okay, and we're looking like this with just one pump of foundation. I'm gonna use my Fenty matchstick. This is the shade Swedish. Swedish, perhaps. I think that's Swedish, I'm not gonna lie. So I'm just gonna take this small angled brush and grab some of that. Again, tapping motions, I'm gonna tap that on there. Tap it on the other side. I got enough on there so that I don't have to keep going in and adding more. To the chin. And then to the jaw. Whatever's left on that brush, I'm just gonna run along my nose. I don't like doing like a nose contour. I just like to kind of bronze up the nose, add a little bit of dimension. Now that we've added on where the contour is gonna go, we can blend it out. I'm using that same brush as well, and just using tapping motions. You don't wanna rush past blending out your contour. The last thing you want is to look muddy. Like, that's what just rushing through your contour and just not properly blending it well can do. This is a Fenty Cream Blush in the color Crush on Cupid. I've just been going in with my fingers recently and blending it out that way. And this is where I've been positioning my blush, just kind of at the top of my cheekbones and not like at the apples of my cheeks. I've been loving this placement recently. So I'm just gonna go in with tapping motions with my finger. Now I'm gonna go in with the Born This Way concealer. This is in the shade Warm Sand, and I'm literally just gonna place it right here. I have not been going ham with my concealer recently. I'm gonna let this dry down a little and then I'll be back. Okay, it's been a few minutes. I zoomed you guys in a little closer. This is my Kosas sponge. I'm just going to blend out this concealer. I literally kind of focus it in this area, and then I take any excess and just kind of drag it out. Blend it into my eyelid as well. And then I take any excess and just put that on my forehead and my chin. So this is what my base looks like with all of the cream products down. And y'all know I like a matte finish, so we need to go in with our powders quick. I'm going with my Kosas Cloud Set Powder in the color Cushiony. And make sure I don't have any weird creases happening under the eye. And I'm just gonna do a thin layer under the eye. The way that blurs out your under eye, like, I don't know if I'll ever go to using another pressed powder under my eyes. I don't know, because that Kosas does the job. So now I'm gonna go in with my One Size translucent powder and basically just set on top of that. Tap off the excess on my hand. Literally my entire makeup routine is done in tapping motions. I always do my forehead powder after my eyebrows. Now I'm gonna go in with my Bare Minerals Mineral Veil in the color sheer tan. I'm just gonna take one of these fluffy powder brushes and set the rest of my face. This just kind of helps blur everything together as well. I have this bronzer and blush palette. I'm not gonna be super precise with it, you know, because we already cream contoured, so this is just gonna kind of warm up the skin a little bit. I've been so apprehensive to do like makeup content and like makeup tutorials and stuff like that just because of my acne. Acne can really knock your confidence even if you don't realize it, but I'm trying to get more just in the place of, listen, this is my skin, this is me, take it or leave it, you know? I always think of videos that I'd like to do and things that I like to create, and I'm like, I don't know if anybody's gonna wanna see that because I don't want any comments about my skin or anything like that, but people say they want realness on social media, but you give them real and they get real mean. So I've definitely been nervous to post makeup content, but I think just kind of inching my way into it will just help me become more confident with it overall. So yeah, this is step one, I guess. I've posted makeup tutorials on my TikTok before. TikTok is just more of a safe space than Instagram, so I noticed that when I post like makeup stuff or like I'm not wearing makeup on TikTok, I never get any comments about it, but whenever I'm like not wearing makeup on Instagram or anything, I tend to always get that one comment that's just like, I'm gonna delete this. And so yeah, if your acne knocks your confidence, just know you're not the only one, and just don't let it stop you from being you and doing what you want to do. We're not about to give these little bumps this much power, you know? I'm gonna pinch my brush and just bronze up my nose a little more. Let's add our blush. This blush palette is so freaking pretty. Although this little light pink don't really do much. If you're my complexion or darker, don't expect it to, you know, give a lot, because it really doesn't. I always have to kind of mix it in with the darker pink in order for it to look like something. So I'm applying my blush in the same place that I applied it when I was doing cream blush. And again, tapping that in. A little bit on the nose and on the forehead. Okay, so once all the base products are laid down, this is when I go on with setting spray. I'm gonna go in with my Milk Hydro Grip Set and Refresh Spray. If I can freaking get this thing open. Once I spray it on, I go back in with my beauty blender and literally just press in the setting spray. Okay, so this is my base, looking fab, looking amazing. I'm gonna finish the rest of my makeup, you know, do my eyebrows, my eyes, and my lips off camera, and then I'm just gonna come back and we're just gonna see how it all comes together and how much this acne is not stopping a thing. Okay, this is the finished look. I just did something very simple, a little smoky shadow, and then some mascara, did my brows, a little bit of nose highlight, you know, just the basics to finish off the look. But the focus is of course the complexion, and it is looking blurred and smooth, which is exactly what we wanted. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope it was helpful. Let me know if you guys have any questions below, and I hope some of these tips will help your base routine look as flawless as ever. To my acne prone skin girlies, this is the season of not holding ourselves back anymore. We're embracing what makes us us, and we are going to be more confident than ever. Hope you guys enjoyed this video and you enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.